If you are a CEO, expert, founder, coach, or consultant, and you would like to build an authority brand system for your personal brand on a platform like LinkedIn, in this video, I'm going to show you the 11 steps I use to build such a brand. My name is Susan. I work as a fractional CMO for various clients, and I have specialized in content strategy. I have been doing content strategy for the last 14 years in various positions, including as a consultant, as a coach, as a trainer, as a marketing agency owner, which I ran for about 6 years. So I have wide, extensive background in content strategy. So let's dive in. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go over the 11-step system. Then I'll show you an example where I use my own brand and fill in the various parts. And I'll give you a link to my LinkedIn profile. You can take a look at it and just see how that works. So let's go over the system now. So the first step is identity discovery. Before anything else, this is the first step. We want to know, what do you really do? What makes you different? What themes naturally appear? What do you stand for? Just to know more about you. Who are you, basically? Then there's something that I call MMC. This is mentors, models, and competitors. So the importance of this MMC is that it helps us to look at what has already worked. So I ask questions like, who is your mentor? Who do you look up to? Who would you like to be like? Who in this space is doing what you would like your brand to do? So this helps us with your positioning as well. Number 2, purpose. Your personal brand needs a job description. Why exactly do you want to build the authority brand? What is the result that you hope to achieve? Do you want sales leads? Maybe you are into consultancy, high-end consultancy or high-end services. Do you want visibility? Maybe that visibility, you want it for partnerships, for business partnerships. You want speaking opportunities. Like, I've received most of my biggest speaking opportunities have been because of my authority brand. Maybe you also want these kinds of speaking opportunities. Maybe you want authority and you want to direct that authority towards your various ventures. You might have charitable ventures. You might have other projects for profit. Maybe you have various companies. So you want that visibility, that authority visibility, where people say, who is this person? What else do they do? Let me check them out. Okay. Then we also look at MMC analysis. Who are the mentors, models, and competitors in your space with regards to your purpose and your positioning, which is number 3. Decide what you'll be known for and how you stand out, especially when you look at people are doing similar things. How do you want to stand out? What is this thing that will look similar to what they are doing, but what is this other thing that will look different? Who is your audience? What is your unique angle all about? Okay. Number 4. So we move on to brand expression elements. How do you want to show up? Your brand voice. How do you want to sound? Do you want to be warm and direct? Do you want to be formal? Do you want to be casual? You want to be conversational? You want to be humorous or serious? Or, and this is one of my interesting ones for some people, do you want to be controversial? You want to be someone who's always picking fights with different people? I mean, that is a position you can pick up. That's your brand voice, okay? Now, the visuals, visual identity. How do you want to look? What's the look and feel of your brand? What are the colors? What are the fonts? What are the layout styles? How do you want people to perceive you? Okay, we might even come up with something like a mini brand kit or mini visual brand board, mood board, just to look at the visual elements. Number 6, archetype. This is like your emotional authority. Okay, so there are examples like sage. Do you want to come out like this really wise person? Do you want to show like you're a creator, your creative side? Do you want to show your hero side by showcasing challenges you've overcome and stories that show before and after, a lot of transformational? Do you want to be a mentor? Do you want to come out like someone who is reaching down to other people who are looking up to you? Do you want to be more of a teacher? Like, I love being a teacher. I like simplifying complex topics. So we need to look at your archetype. What is just natural for you? Then boundaries. With personal branding, it's always good to include certain personal details, but how much detail do you want to actually share with your audience? This is entirely up to you. There are no hard and fast rules. It's not written in stone. Some people want to share everything, including meltdowns. Obviously, I don't encourage anyone to do meltdowns. They want to go the Kardashian route and showcase every little detail. Then there are those who never want to show faces of anyone in their family except themselves. It's up to you. You decide your boundaries. Let's go to intellectual systems. IP extractions. IP extraction. This is like I want to download your brain, okay? Not like in a creepy way, but like want to know your thoughts, your frameworks, your insights. What is it that makes up your expertise, your principles, models? This is the material which is in your mind that you haven't yet put out in the world. That genius. This is very important part. That's step 8, sorry. Step 9, content gold. What have you already created? So part of that IP which is in your brain, you've already put it out somewhere. Maybe through emails, workshops, old posts, old presentations. Maybe you've even written a book, like I've written several books. I'll put a link somewhere. Maybe you've got drafts. So this is your archive. We're going to look at your archive. We need to collect it somewhere. Number 10, story bank. When I show you the Google Sheet, you're going to see how deep this one can be. Because there are so many stories, and storytelling is such a powerful part of an authority brand. It's not every story you want to share. It's not every story that is going to help you with your authority. So we have to decide. What is your origin story, lesson stories, failures, behind the scenes? We can go crazy here. So many stories we can tell. Then we need to extract them and put them somewhere. Okay. Number 11, which is last. This is format and admin. So when I say format, what format is the easiest for you to create? So personally, I like to write. So for me, long form pieces are my favorite. It's not always my audience favorite, especially the small business owners, the individuals. Some of them prefer short form. So my favorite is long pieces, but I also like to do videos. So like this video I'm creating right now, I've gotten carried away. I wanted it to be 2 minutes, but look at this, we'll probably end up at 7, 8, or maybe 10 minutes because I like this 5 to 10 minutes type of videos. I also like carousels. I'm not so big on frameworks and diagrams. I know they're good for other people, but for me it's short videos and long form pieces. Okay, so this is the 11-step system. Now let me show you the actual Excel sheet where Google Sheet, sorry, where I now filled in the actual questions. They're questions. Then you answer these questions. Like on this one, identity. Okay, what do I really do? What problems do I solve? So if I go down here, I've answered these questions. Then purpose. If you go down here, I've also answered these questions. If I go through all the answers, this video will be too long. Positioning. I've also given some examples of people that I look up to, the MMC analysis, mentors, models, and competitors. So we look at all these. These are the answers on positioning. This is the brand voice. Okay. I like to be warm and friendly. I like to be direct sometimes. I don't like to jest too much. Visual identity. Black and navy are my visual authority. If you go to my LinkedIn, you'll see that mostly I use a lot of black and navy. Then there's the archetype. You can choose the archetype there. I've chosen my archetype. Then we go to boundaries. I'm somewhere in the middle. I don't like sharing too little or too much. There's a certain balance that I like. IP extraction. I have written a lot of books and a lot of articles. That's the biggest part of my... Sorry, IP extraction. No, this is where I have to now bring out my frameworks. Then the content goldmine. I have a huge content goldmine because I've published 14 books. So someone creating this for me, the books would be a very important part of that. In the story bank, I have various stories. I have stories from when I quit my job. I have stories for when I shifted from running this type of business to that other type of business. When I moved to doing things in a certain way, when I started my agent, when I moved from freelancing to when I started my freelancing, when I moved from freelancing to starting the agency to closing the agency, going into consulting, etc. So each of these transitions in my life form a story. So even with you, would go in the transitions, the origin story that is relevant, because there can be several origin stories depending on the angle and the positioning that we're going for. Okay. Then the last but not least is the content format, like I said, short and long form content. So this is the authority brand. So if you're trying to build an authority brand, this is a framework I'm going to use for you. So if you're interested in this, please reach out, let's talk, and let me help you build your authority brand. I'm going to put some relevant links you can explore further. Thank you so much for that.